This is a ministry report from the Ministry of Retro Gaming.
Since Spacies.
Right, so what's up everyone? Welcome to the Morgue Report number 2. I'm Chris from Grumpy Retro Gamers at my mum's house. We got Sorax Space.
Hiya.
We got Mad Gaming.
Morning all, you alright?
And all the way from Australia, we've got Spacies.
How you doing?
Excellent. Right, so we'll dive right in. Brian, you know a lot more about this than the rest of us because it doesn't exist over here, but GameStop have lost 300 million in a financial year, is that right?
Yeah, so one of the big news pieces this week was GameStop reporting, and these are financial reports that they are obliged by law to reveal, so it's not like this is something that they're having to give out willingly, but they've reported losing over $300 million in the last financial year. So they're basically bleeding money, and one of the funny things about this, if anything of this can be funny, was their press release in response to this news was saying that we have, what was it they said, that we believe that the future is bright at GameStop, and I replied, yeah, but dumpster fires are bright as well. so which is what it's looking like from the sidelines at the moment. It's not looking good, and so I would like to ask you guys, what do you think would be needed for GameStop to get out of this mess? Like, is it get rid of some dodgy? Is it all just down to the fact that staff are dodgy and nothing against anyone that works at GameStop, but I mean, we have a similar shop here in Australia, EV Games. You have games in the UK. Sometimes when you go into those stores, they're not all top notch, and you do get the feeling that you're just kind of dealing with a drone on the front. So what I'm asking though is, what is needed for GameStop to turning it around?
Difficult. Yeah, it's so difficult, isn't it? I mean, like, so I love game in the UK. Like, you know, growing up, we had so many more options. So we had, I mean, like, you know, I used to buy a lot from Blockbuster because they had a big game section. And then I think EB Games actually was over here. I remember.
Yeah, Electronics Boutique. Yeah.
And then very recently, so there was, I think this might have just been a northern thing, but Granger Games. So we have, no, it's fine. Yes, it's no
Granger.
Granger. Yeah, like so Granger Games actually sponsored the gaming awards in the UK about 5 years ago. You know, like, so they were doing really well. And and then all of a sudden, like last year, they just tanked. So like, they went under into administration. Suddenly don't exist anymore. So I mean, basically, we have just got game nowadays in the UK, and I absolutely love it.
That was on its last legs a few years ago.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like you know, like, they are doing a lot better now. I feel like, you know, like they seem to have turned the corner, and I think a lot of that is down to, you know, like basically the online presence and kind of, you know, doing that properly nowadays. I think a lot of these companies who were very much bricks and mortar obviously struggling to compete with Amazon. But on the other hand, like with Amazon, the last 4 games that I've pre-ordered from Amazon have turned up 4 days late. So it's like from now, like, you know, it's like those kind of things where you go, you know what, if I order it from Game and just walk in on the day, it's gonna be there. Like, you know, it is a better service as much as Amazon can deliver it to my house. But yeah, you know, like for me, like, you know, I love physical, and I really love the idea of going in and browsing, and it's just a nicer experience for me. So I really hope, you know, that they can do something. But I think people like GameStop and Game and all the rest of it, I think that they've had to be really clever and say, look, if we've got shops in rubbish locations that don't make any money, you know, unfortunately, you know, we do need to close them down, concentrate on the good locations, and basically hit online super hard. Like Steve from Game Telford, like in the UK,
legend.
That is how, like, absolute legend. Like that is how you run a GameStop. Sorry, like a game store. That guy is funny. He's nailing like online. He's got, so, you know, thousands of people. Like, I don't even live near Telford, but I want to go to Game Telford. You know, like in order to, you know, like in order
on
to
the off chance that he might be dressed up as Sonic the Hedgehog on the day you go in there.
Well, you know, like, that's so good, and you can tell that Game have given them the license to do that as well, which is you know, like, fair play to Game for doing that. Like, you know, like GameStop's not a company that I know of, but I really hope, you know, that they do get their arse in gear and kind of get their act together, because obviously, you know, we need more physical retailers. It's like Amazon's killing the industry really, and it's also doesn't pay a billion in tax, so you know, Amazon can fuck off.
I do have a theory that how they can turn it around, and we have a store here in Sydney called the Gamesman. They've been running since Atari 2600, so they're really old school, and they do FIFA tournaments in store after hours. So they invite people into the store when the shop's closed, and they make events. So I think that these bigger chains need to adopt that kind of an attitude and turn their stores and just focus on mega or super stores, close all the smaller ones down and make it just the central hub bigger stores, and turn it into an event. When you go in there, you think that maybe something will be on when you go there, rather than just dealing with drones at the front counter. Can I help you? You know, sort of thing. Sorry.
See, I don't even mind those people, but there's one in Bath who works in a game store. I hate him with every fibre of my being. So we're going in there. I was going to get a PSVR, but they didn't have any in store, so I got it online. And I got to the counter to pick it up, and this guy went, "Hello, you really should buy things. We prefer it if you buy them in store, because then we can talk about the product."
You said Alan Partridge.
Yeah. Pretty much.
You know the guy?
Yeah. I said, right, but you didn't have this in store, so I couldn't buy it in store. And I said, no, but in future we really prefer it if you would buy it in store. But you don't have it though. So 5 minutes I went around just in a circle with him, like I was trying to pay for it, and he wouldn't fucking let me. I wish he was dead.
Honestly, to be fair, so I only bought my PS4 probably 2 months ago, and that was from gaming in Manchester in the Arndale. And there was a guy there who, again, he wouldn't let me pay for it. Like, he was just trying to upsell me like other products. I was like, mate, honestly, like, I'm on my lunch at work. I've got an hour. It took me 30 minutes to get it. I need to head off. Like, can I please just give you the money for this and leave? No, but honestly, if I was you, I'd go for like, no, like, I've got to go. So,
If you were me, you'd be trying to leave, mate.
Sorax, have you got a take on this?
Yeah, I know you said it's GameStop that's been affected. We don't have GameStops over here, so I don't know. And you said it might be the way they perform their business practices. That's why they're struggling. But I don't really know. To me, they're all struggling. It's just sort of the way the market's gone with downloads and things like that. Kids don't really go into the shops much more anymore. And it's the same with shops like HMV over here. A lot of them are closing as well. They're really struggling because of the music is sort of all digital now as well.
Here in Australia, EB Games, before like the lead up to Christmas, there was a lineup going out of the store just to buy stuff. So here in Australia, it's must be just totally different, like everything. But I mean, it seems like the brick and mortar stores are still doing okay. I might be wrong. I don't see what their numbers are, but I know what the numbers in the store are. It takes an eternity to get served because of the lineup. So there are people.
Yeah, they're not doing as well as they used to, though. Definitely not. And I think GameStop, are they predominantly like second-hand games? Is their main?
That's where they make them most of the money. So that's what they push the hardest.
People don't really buy second-hand games anymore. I don't think people tend to just buy games on release, like from Amazon or something, and then get it on day one delivered to their door. They don't really shop in game stores anymore. So I think it's just rather than GameStop.
Like, over here, obviously, like, I mean, we've got CEX that basically does the second-hand game thing. But I think a lot of people do shop there for retro. But in terms of like the second-hand modern gen games, I can't imagine ever going in and buying one of those. So yeah, you're probably right there.
So I don't know what's the quick take from this, and then move on to the next topic. What just free things that GameStop or any game chain can do to be relevant in 2019 onwards.
I think your idea with the events is a good idea. They should provide something like that to bring people in. That'd be good. Yeah.
Nail social media is the big thing. I mean, especially with the younger generation, they live on social media. The best example I can give it, and it's not even gaming related, but Paddy Power in the UK and Ireland, like their Twitter account is so funny that even though I don't gamble, I don't bet, it's not my thing, but I purposely go and check on that every single day just to see what they've said, because it's so funny. If a game company could do something like that, which I think Steve from
Telford's he's about the best that I can think of on social media at the moment.
The Toe Jam and L account is brilliant as well, and the Sonic account.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
All right. Sorry, Chris, over to you, mate. Sorry.
Over to Chris.
No, I think we put that to bed, haven't we? We've solved their problems, certainly. I don't think anyone can argue with that.
You're right.
That's it. We fixed it. Yeah, games tournament. Get yourself on the internet and just be a bit better with your money. Everyone's a winner.
Oh, maybe have staff that aren't total dicks.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I think don't be an asshole to customers.
That helps.
Yeah, you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Since Spacies.